Alright guys, if you're currently learning cybersecurity and you're looking to get some experience, the best way to do it is obviously take an internship like I've done, get some courses, but what you could also do is build some WordPress websites for some local companies, and that's just what I'm going to talk about in this video. Yeah, so you're probably working in a construction job or you're working in a completely different industry and you're just wondering, how can I break into cybersecurity? How do I get noticed? So for me, building websites has really helped because you can use that as evidence and you can sort of add that to your resume. You can say, look, I built websites for companies and I've helped harden their security posture within that website. And these are just simple things you can do on top of your GitHub sort of repositories and showing your sort of experience that way. And it's just mostly showing evidence of what you've actually done. And this practical sort of way of doing things is a lot better than just saying, I can do the security-based things that a company needs to do. A lot of people, they just get the security plus is enough to just land a job, but a lot of companies, they want to see the experience and things. So if you've got like a portfolio, it's really going to help. Yeah, so I did actually manage to land a couple of interviews, and these were online. One of them was actually working with a F1 company, so I was like pretty excited about it. So from doing all my sort of portfolio work and obviously working with all the stuff I put onto GitHub with my repositories and things like that, I was approached, and so I had two interviews. So they were quite impressed by the work I'd already done, and I was able to sort of talk about those projects in that interview. And it was only because I've already done the projects, I was very confident about talking about them, and it really helped me. So I'd recommend getting to projects, getting the experience, and you'll start building up, you'll start understanding how everything fits together, because it's different to sort of reading everything on an iPad or, just looking at a tutorial video. If you get hands-on with everything, you're going to understand it so much better. Another reason why I've sort of been very focused on doing normal projects is because I do some training in martial arts with a guy, and he's quite high up in his company. He does cybersecurity, and he says that, if he speaks to people in interviews and things like that, he doesn't really care about the certificates and things. He says he prefers if they got experience, and he said that goes a lot further. He says because he's had people come from university who've not really had hands-on experience or had any projects of their own. They've kind of been told what to do, but when it comes to thinking for themselves, they've not really had the chance to do that. So building your own projects, you're going to sort of have a couple of things where you're going to fail, and then you'll sort of learn from those failures, and you learn a lot more when things don't work and you've got to try and figure it out yourself. So it's pretty simple, really, just the action, just doing. So it really helped me. So in that interview, I was able to explain everything I'd sort of done in my projects. But the reason why I didn't get it, he seemed to think there was an issue because I worked in the construction industry. So it's one of those. It is what it is. I think it's a stumbling block for a lot of people like myself trying to break into the industry. I think getting an interview is the first hurdle. So no one even contacted me when I first started sending CVs out. I had no one sort of come back to me saying I want to speak to you. It's only the fact that I did all the project-based learning and I had evidence to show what I was doing that they actually wanted to speak to me. So in the end, I had two interviews for this particular company. So the first one I managed to pass, it was a bunch of technical questions. And in the second interview, one of the guys there, he basically said to me, I've noticed you worked in construction or, pretty much most of your life. I said, yeah. And he said, why do you want to do this? I was like, well, obviously I'm trying to sort of move forward. I'm having to use my body to pick things up all the time, and it does get a little bit tiring. And I think that's the reason why they didn't pick me in the end. It could have been on the technical stuff, but that seemed to be a bit of a sore point for him. I think they wanted someone who's come straight from uni and sort of had the typical sort of working in IT or tech and everything. They obviously picked the right person in the end. So unfortunately, I didn't get that, but it is what it is. But I hope I wouldn't have even got that interview if I hadn't done any of the courses and projects that I'd done. So I'd recommend, just build a website for a local company, harden the security posture for that particular WordPress website, do some projects like I've already done, and they're really going to go a long way to actually getting an interview. I've actually got a free course teaching you how to build your own WordPress website. And that's a little bit of experience you can add to your resume, and you can show that to the people you're potentially going to go to interview with. And it's another talking point. So if you're talking from experience, then you can sound more confident when you've actually done it. So it's my little tips, really. So this is my sort of experience so far, and this is what I've been told. I train with a guy who works within cybersecurity, And he said, experience and actually doing is more important to him than all the certificates. The certificates are all good because it helps you get past the tracking system on a lot of the like LinkedIn and Indeed and stuff like that, because they'll have a criteria of keywords that they're looking for. So you need to have the Security Plus or CISSP. If you don't have those, then experience is going to be your next best thing. So that's personally what I've done, and I'd recommend just do a little bit each day. You soon build it up, and over I've been doing it for a while now. I'm probably going to start getting back on and do my course. I've taken this month off. This is why I've been doing all these videos. So that's why I've had a bit more time. I enjoy video editing, so it's another reason why I've been doing all this. So if you want to follow this channel, follow my journey, what I'm doing. If I do actually get myself a job working within a tech company doing cybersecurity, I'll let you guys know, and I'll show you the sort of projects and things that they were impressed with. So then I can sort of show you, what you need to do